Hi everyone, I am here with another card making video. This is kind of a beginning to my Christmas cards that I will be making this year. I probably have half a dozen of them, and we'll see if I get more than that or not. So I'm going to start doing the tutorials for them. This one is made using the Stampin' Up! Happy Scenes stamp set that is in the current holiday catalog. I'm loving this little winter scene right here, so I'm going to be using that, those trees. A couple of my cards will be done using this stamp set. I'm also going to use, I have the wrong one on here. This one I used the little dots for the snow instead of the snowflakes, so let me just switch that out really quick. I was working on a different card. So let me put the snowflakes back. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the little dots. So we're going to use that one. And we are also going to use some Mossy Meadow ink, which is going to be my trees, and some London Fog Memento for the little snowdrops falling. I've also used a Nestabilities, Spellbinders Nestabilities die, the classic ovals in the small size, and I've used the large one. And in last year's holiday catalog, we had the filigree frame, and so, oh, it's kind of close. I'm going to use that, or I've used that. So, a couple other things that we'll go through, so I'm just going to set this one aside. The card base that I'm using is actually from Michaels. In their Hot Buy sections, they had these giant packs of cards and envelopes. So there's 80 in here, 80 cards and envelopes. So there's 2 tones of red and 2 tones of green. Now, I don't normally pre-buy card bases or anything. This is kind of a lightly textured one. My sister convinced me to get these, and I was like, okay, whatever, because she's gotten into her card making with me. So I thought I would give it a try, and they're kind of perfect for Christmas stuff, so we'll just use them up. So the first one I did is on the lighter red card base, and I'm going to use the darker red for the one today. I've already tied a bow in some kind of darker red eyelet ribbon that I get from Michaels. So there's my base. This is a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card. I'm going to do a landscape style. My little framed matte piece, I ran this through the Texture Boutique, and I used the filigree frame. And then I used the oval die to cut out the center to make it into an actual frame. And my little scenery piece is 3 3/4 by 3. So this is what we're going to stamp on. And I'm going to kind of do it a little sideways so I can see what I'm doing. This is, if I mess up, I just flip it over and stamp the other side. So there's always 2 sides to every piece. So I'm going to ink my little tree up, my trees, my little winter trees, with the Mossy Meadow. And I'm going to take my frame here and just see kind of where I need to start. So I kind of use the frame as a little bit of a guide. So we're going to start right here, roughly. See how that goes. So there's that one, and then I'm going to go ahead and stamp a second one. You could leave it as is if you just wanted the one set of trees, but I'm going to do another set of trees. And this part takes me a minute because I always really try to concentrate on getting this just how I want it, so I'm sorry if my head gets in the way. I'm gonna do it right there and hope it turned out. So there we go. Now one part of these little trees here will get slightly covered up using the frame. So when you put the frame on top, it's gonna kind of look like that. So there we have that part, but we're gonna continue stamping. So we're gonna use the Memento London Fog, and this one is the little dots. So we're just gonna stamp little random dots to make it look like kind of snow, I guess. So I'm just gonna maybe stamp a few over here. And maybe some right there. I'm not sure how much of the sky part's gonna show, so there we go. That'll work. Okay, so that is it for the stamping. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and attach this to our base. So I'm just gonna lay it on the base, and I've kind of moved it over to the right a little bit because I want the trees. I'm gonna move it up. Okay, so I kind of know the general area of where I'm going to stick this down. We're going to go ahead and adhere it, and then we will finish doing our coloring on it. So, about there. I'm not going to push that down quite yet. It's over a little too far. So, we'll just grab it and move it over. Oops, that side. This is kind of the hard part here, is trying to figure out where that little piece is going to go. So it's going to be inside the frame. Okay, that looks good. So I'm just going to go ahead and press that down. And now I'm going to take my Marvy alcohol marker, and this is N881. It's one of the neutral colors. It's a very light gray. And I'm just going to kind of color in part of the ground here just to give it some more definition. Just kind of like that. So there we go with that. The frame will go on there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Wink of Stella. I've got the clear one. And I'm going to go ahead and color in the little snow spots that landed on the tree. Got the little one over here. And just to add a little bit of definition to some of my little dots, I'm going to go ahead and do some of these to kind of sparkle them up a little. And then I'm going to see if I missed any. So I'm going to do this, a couple of the ones on the top. Okay, so what I'm also going to do is I'm going to color the ground down here and get it nice and sparkly. Okay, I think that is pretty good. So let's see if the camera's gonna pick that up. Not really sure there. Well, there's some of it. Nice and sparkly. So we'll give that a second to dry and we'll put some rhinestones on here. And I'm going to use the little rhinestones that I cut apart because they're small and I like them. So we'll go ahead and put these right on top of this embossed piece. It's kind of a quick card. I've made several of these so far, and you know, it's like any other card that you make. The more you make, the faster you get, the easier it is. The first ones always kind of take a bit longer to figure out what you're doing or what you want to do to it. A couple more rhinestones here. Then we will be good. So there's my rhinestones. I don't want to overdo it, but I want to have enough bling on there. So now we're going to add some dimensionals. And these I'm going to kind of put around the oval to get it popped up. Then we'll stick some in the corner, and you can put as many dimensionals as you like or not. I like to make sure that I have plenty on here when I'm doing these little frames. So I think that might be okay. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and peel all of these off. And we'll stick this to the front of our card. Then we will add our little bow. I don't have a sentiment on the outside of this card, but you can certainly stamp anything about winter or Christmas or whatever you like. So I'm gonna kind of lean over so I can see if I can get this frame even before I press it down. So there's that part. Now I'm gonna take a little mini glue dot and go ahead and attach my bow. Whoops. Right up here. And there we go. So the insides of these cards are white, which make it really great for your stamping and writing. You don't have to put an extra piece in there if you don't want to. So you can kind of see the outside of the card, the base. So there is a really simple winter or Christmas card. I've got two different reds here. Using the Happy Scenes stamp set. Just this one right here in our current holiday catalog. And I hope you guys like this card, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!